One sec. Much better. Be progressively going more insane. I am an overachiever after all. Guys, I'm so excited. Welcome to my little corner on the internet. Do you like my new kitten mittens? I love them. I think they're so cute. I got them at Simon's. Actually, this whole baking fit is from Simon's. The apron is from Simon's. It was a gift from my wonderful cousin Allie. So if you're watching, hey, thank you so much. So without further ado, let's do some Christmas baking. Holiday candle from Bath & Body Works lit. It smells just like the holiday spirit in here. And there is like kind of a snowstorm outside. If this wasn't the most perfect moment, I don't know what is. So let's get started. So today we're going to be making gingerbread cookies, crinkle cookies, and sugar cookies. I know that's a lot. I am an overachiever after all, but I've just been so excited to do holiday baking that I figured, why not just do it all at the same time? I feel like this video is gonna be me progressively going more insane. I am also doing all of this by myself, so yeah. The website is called Sally's Baking Addiction, and honestly, I love this woman so much. Every single one of the recipes I've made from her have been sensational, fantastic. So we are going to start with gingerbread cookies because they take the longest. And the reason why is because they need to go in the fridge for 3 hours. It's currently 3 p.m. so we gotta start right now. Like literally it took me 15 minutes to film this intro. Give me a second while I gather my ingredients. Guys, I'm so excited. All right, jumping right into our gingerbread cookie recipe. In a bowl, I'm going to combine 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of ground ginger, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and half a teaspoon of ground cloves. Giving that a good mix and setting that aside. In a separate bowl, I'm going to combine 142 grams of unsalted butter softened at room temperature, and giving that a good mix. I'm going to be adding 3/4 of a cup of dark brown sugar and 2/3 of a cup of dark molasses. Giving that a good mix until it's nice and homogeneous. And then adding 1 large egg at room temperature, along with 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Again, giving that a good mix, scraping down the sides of the bowl, and adding our dry mixture into the wet mixture. Giving that one final mix, and once it looks nice and incorporated, I'm going to be separating my dough in half and wrapping 2 discs in plastic wrap and plopping those in the fridge for 3 hours. In the meantime, I'm going to be getting started on my crinkle cookie recipe. So in a bowl, I'm going to add half a cup of unsalted butter softened at room temperature, half a cup of brown sugar, and half a cup of granulated sugar. Giving that a good mix until nice and homogeneous, adding 1 large egg at room temperature. I thought I dropped a shell in there, but I ended up finding it. I knew it. Going to be adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and using a sifter in a separate bowl, I'm going to do 1 cup of all-purpose flour, natural cocoa powder, baking soda, and salt. And using a sifter so making sure there are no lumps and clumps, and then adding my dry ingredients to my wet ingredients, making sure it's nicely incorporated. The dough should be stiff and sticky, but that's exactly what we want. Cover that in plastic wrap, the whole thing in plastic wrap, and put it in the fridge to chill for 3 hours. Moving on to our final recipe, the sugar cookies. So in a bowl, I'm going to combine 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and combining that and setting it aside. In a separate bowl, I'm going to do 3/4 of a cup of unsalted butter softened at room temperature, 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, 1 large egg, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, and I did 1/4 because almond extract is very strong, but I did 1/4 of a teaspoon of almond extract. Giving that a good mix, scraping down the sides of the bowl, and then slowly adding the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients and giving that one final mix. once it's all nicely incorporated, you're gonna grab a silicone mat, lightly dust the surface, and rolling that out into a nice rectangle about 1/4 inch thick, and then putting those in the fridge for at least 1 to 2 hours and up to 2 days, but I only did like 2 hours. Now it is time to move on to what I think is the best part of baking. Actually cutting the shapes and decorating them. Started with the gingerbread, and we're gonna start shaping the gingerbread first. I'm gonna flour my dough a little bit, and I'm gonna flour my rolling pin. This is gonna be tough. Now I'm gonna grab my little gingerbread people, and I'm gonna make a few gingerbreads of different sizes. Though, like, these aren't that little. Like, I wish I had, like, even a smaller one. My favorite part about making gingerbread and just Christmas cookies in general is probably shaping and decorating them. So I'm gonna be using lots of different types of shapes for my gingerbread people, and then putting in that oven to bake. And then for my crinkle cookies, I'm going to be rolling them into a ball in my hands, rolling them into granulated sugar, and then really covering them in icing sugar, putting them on a baking sheet, and then putting them in the oven. For my sugar cookies, I'm going to be using lots of different types of shapes. I'm using candy canes, snowmen, Christmas trees, stars, circles, lots of different types of various shapes. It is currently 10 p.m. and I am still baking. So the next time I bake something for you as a gift, you better be grateful. I'm currently making the icing sugar, royal icing? I don't know what to call it, but I just put 3 cups of powdered sugar in a bowl, and now I'm doing 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of honey and 2 tablespoons of warm water. So I'm gonna give this a whisk, and then we're gonna have our icing sugar. So I'm currently decorating and filling little bags with the cookies. It is 11:15 and I'm still baking and decorating. I feel like this video is just a slow descent into madness, like my slow descent into madness, but it's okay. Here's a little update. And I've got so many bags packed for my friends, my colleagues, even got more over here. With that said, that concludes my little baking vlog. So if you stayed until the end, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. It is currently midnight and I am so exhausted. So I'm gonna put everything away and I'm gonna go straight to sleep. I love you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Apple of my eye and them apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, Y2K on your seams, puff in my chest, trying to act for the scene, cause I'm trying to get low, eat everything in between.